This is the most realistic sim racing experience you can get in the world today. It does not get any better than this. So if you want to see the pinnacle of sim racing right now, then strap in. You're really going to enjoy this video. You can see on the left hand side there with the headset on and the wheel. I'm going to tell you all about the equipment in this video. But this circuit, I've done a couple of 24-hour endurance races here in iRacing, and the car, I've actually driven this Ferrari 488 GT3 car in real life. So I've got a few data points here, and first of all, have a look at my movements on the left hand side and how one-to-one they are with the wheel. It is so one-to-one with the virtual car that you don't feel like you're in a virtual car. Now that, to master all that image left side, is quite processing intensive, so let me know if you like that, if you want to see that all the way through. But I thought what we do is just concentrate on the immersion, and I will let you know what it feels like and little things to look out for if you maybe want to pick up a setup like this, or you want the limitations of it. I'm going to go through all of that in this video. You can see how sort of calm I am on the left hand side, similar to when I was driving this car in real life. They demand calmness. You can't be sawing at the wheel crazily, you can't be treating it like a go-kart. And the fact that everything is just so one-to-one. There is no latency, there is no delay, the force feedback is immaculate, the 4K through the headset is absolutely unreal as well. So the headset there that's just appeared, that is a Pimax Crystal VR headset. It is a absolutely top of the range VR headset. I've been using it for a while now, and I can tell you this is just leaps and bounds above anything else I've tried. So if you try PSVR1 or PSVR2, like both I've had, this is just like different generation. The simulator, of course, you can see left hand side there, is Assetto Corsa Competizione, and you can see me here glancing in the mirrors, and I have to say, and even on the wind left hand side, when you go through this stretch you feel the sound bouncing off the concrete barriers on each side. And I've noticed that in every track I've done, when you reach a sort of choke point like that, you can hear the sound and it amplifies, and you can hear if there's a car next to you or there isn't a car next to you, amplifies your own sound, and you become really tuned into that. You can see him here glancing at the mirror to see if that Lamborghini is going to keep in his back towel. But in the meantime, I think I've locked up and gone straight on, so we have to rejoin here as a couple of GT3 cars go steaming by. We slot in, I think, a bit of a shake of the head there. You can see the TV screens. By the way, the TV screens look so realistic in VR. So that one on the right hand side, the wing mirrors don't look realistic, they look like TV screens, ironically. But there's something about watching a TV screen in VR that is just absolutely mind-boggling. So behind the Mercedes AMG now, you can see that the visibility is really limited. We're looking through a windshield that's got a load of rain on it into the spray, and then seeing the cars ahead and also the windscreen wiper. This isn't stuff you'd necessarily notice too much in 2D. In 2D you just sort of, you immediately look past it, but in 3D you have to look through it. It's very hard to explain, but it affects your senses. It sort of debilitates your senses, your ability to navigate and predict what's happening ahead of you. That is quite authentic, and it's very gripping, and you have to raise your level as well. So behind the Lamborghini, we'll see if we can throw it up the inside at the hairpin. Great overtaking opportunity. Yes, we do. Can we get it stopped before we hit the other one? Yes, just about. And you can see turning in. And what I'm trying to do here is actually look as far up the track as I can when I'm not looking in the mirrors. That is a technique that I do in real life, and just letting my subconscious do the driving in sort of the immediate corners, like here. Let my subconscious do the driving here, because I should be looking up the track. And that's something, again, you can't really do in 2D, because you have to, your brain, your conscious part of your brain has to constantly interpret what these vertical lines of pixels mean. In 3D, your subconscious comes back to the fore, and you can let your subconscious drive a little bit. And I find that a really sort of in-depth and connected experience. It's kind of hard to explain again, but I just find it more intuitive. And I find it very hard to go back actually to driving in 2D. So again, with the Ferrari 488 GT3 behind us, Lamborghini, amazing corner this one, where you sort of want to balance the car and power it through. We didn't really counter steer there, so I don't think we got that quite right. But behind the Lamborghini, going into a big braking zone, again, it's going to be a leap of faith moment, because so many of our senses are being affected here by the conditions. Even our ears, the deafening sound of the Ferrari 488 GT3 can actually make it hard to hear the tyre squeal and hear the proximity of the other car. As we come sliding in here, oh, a little bit of contact there with the Audi. goodness me. So we are getting into it. In real life, that will probably be a spin and a bit of damage as well. But yes, this is Assetto Corsa Competizione running on Steam, essentially completely stock. And what you're seeing now, unlike my PSVR2 videos, what you're seeing now is what I see in the headset. So in the headset, you are seeing it's like unbelievably clear and crisp. And in fact, there are details that you pick up in the headset that you don't get in real life. Like even the fact that these air conditioning vents are glistening a little bit. You can see the shadows moving around. In VR, in the Pimax Crystal headset, that really creates the illusion that it's actual metal. Whereas watching now, as I do the voiceover on a 2D screen, you wouldn't really think about that. The same as when you glance at your Sable sort of seatbelt thing. When you look at that as well, it just looks so realistic with the pattern. The dash at the front, the way they've got that sort of suede on the right hand side is unbelievably realistic, and it just allows your brain to believe that you are in this place. And we can go around the outside of that. Was that the Lamborghini or the Audi? I think maybe the Audi. And we've got a Porsche up ahead of us here, blinking in the rain as we catch him or her very rapidly. I love the fact that we don't have any HUD visible here. I think there is still HUD in the game. I've just really minimized it. So it is that, on the grass as we go deep because we lost that braking. And what are we going to do here? I think we're going to let them past actually. Bit of a, do we need to let them pass because we're on the grass? But I decided to let them pass and slot back in. Trying to see if we can win this race actually. There's not that much time remaining and there's not that many cars ahead. So let's see if we can do it in VR. By the way, also, the other thing that's really intuitive is the way you turn into corners and the amount of lock that you put on. I really like it when you can see your wheel like this in VR. And it's just, you just know how much lock it's just very, 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 again, word of the video, intuitive. And I reckon there's a lot of people who are playing in 2D that are maybe struggling, not because you're not quick drivers, but it's because you're struggling with the interface of having to navigate sort of what to do with your car through 2D. It's amazing how 3D racing games should be the cutting edge of VR. I can't think of any better application than a racing game. So I'm super excited to be in this space and see what else is coming out, because ACC is not by any stretch a new game, and this looks and feels fantastic. You can really feel there's some slight sort of sensations you get, that you can sort of feel the weight transfer. Obviously you're not physically sliding in your seat, you don't have any G-forces acting upon you, but there are just some subtle tells that you can feel the weight transfer, especially at a corner like this, and understand when to start to counter steer. See, they start to counter steer a little bit earlier, bring it in, because we're in a much better position there with the weight transfer than the previous lap. I wonder if this is the leader ahead of us. Are there any cars ahead of this guy? I can't see. Maybe this is the leader. So can we get it done? Not sure how many laps there are to go. Might be 1 or 2 laps as we come in to the very fiendish and tricky chicane here. I know, just a car ahead as well. Another car ahead. That AMG, I think it was, has absolutely gone the distance. But let me just look at this. This is absolutely obscene. See me glance to the right hand side there. And it's actually just beautiful to watch this footage. It's so good. So good. And this game, I don't think ACC gets enough love. This is a wet, rainy day at Zolder. You could also be racing in the night time at Spa. You could be racing in the bright sunshine at Laguna Seca. So much content. They've just released that GT2 pack as well. Pretty incredible to see. Now I suspect what's going to happen here as we go over the line. Let's listen if we're going to get a call from our team. As I look down a little bit at the wheel, what's going to happen as we go over? Let's listen in. The World Mate purple lap. So maybe it's not the last lap. So maybe we will have another lap where we'll be able to catch that leader. So let's get past this Aston Martin here. So we seem to be sort of fatiguing a little bit, I've got to say. Not making super great headway into the Aston ahead of us. But I mean, look at the peripheral vision out the left-hand side there. You would of the window. You wouldn't get that in PCVR unless you're running the wrong field of view, or you've got triple monitors. So here, that field of view is incredibly helpful at judging your sense of speed. So just to explain that, if imagine you were only looking through the front windshield, as I shake my head, you wouldn't have that incredible fast rate going to the side when you look at the side, the wing mirror. And that reminds you how fast you're going and how earlier you need to brake and when to turn in, etc. So I find that very helpful. It's a bit of an unspoken thing. Don't see a lot of people talking about it. But we've got to catch this guy. We'll have one more lap after this, it seems. So can we catch them? Where are they? That is for the lead. And they're just around that hairpin. We brake super, super, super late. As late as we dare. And get on the power really early. I reckon we can do this. There will be enough time on the next lap. And we were purple last lap as well, remember? See the massive... What are they called? The windmills. Kind of eerie looking. A bit like a horror movie. Oh, he's finished the race. Oh, it's not going to be another lap. Oh, I'm shaking my head because I thought we had another lap. Last time I got the call sign being purple. It should have been a last lap warning. So to more VR videos around here, let me know in the comments what you think about this. There's a link to the Pimax Crystal and I think a $100 discount code as well. So go check that out and I will see you next time.